All right, in these videos, we're going to be looking at standard deviation, which is part of syllabus topic 2.6. Notice the syllabus says that we're going to be using our GDC to calculate standard deviations. Data set will be treated as the population. I'll explain that in a bit. And we're going to use spreadsheets as well. So let's look at this first example. We've got scores out of 10 for students from 2 sections of a math class. So just looking at these data sets, I see that Class A goes from 4 to 7 and Class B goes from 1 to 10. I'm first asked to calculate mean, median, range, and IQR for each group. Well, I'm going to write that up over here. And what I see over here is that, let me make that a bit thinner. All right, the range of data set A goes from 7 to 4, so it has a distance of 3. So between my max and min is a total of 3 scores. The range for data set B is from 10 to 1, so those are a lot more spread out. My range is 9. My median, I'm going to do next. That's my middle number. So the median of A is in the middle, so between 5 and 6 is the middle, and it's the same place for B, and it's the same value. Both of those have the same median between 5 and 6. And of course, the number between 5 and 6 is 5.5. So we're saying the middle score is 5.5. My mean, I could calculate by hand, or I could use my calculator. And I'm going to use my calculator because I also want to know the IQR. So my calculator is going to tell me my mean and my quartile values. So let's go ahead, clear this out. I'm going to go into Stat and Edit and enter my lists. So I can hit Up and Clear to get rid of any data. Up and Clear. Okay, so my first one was 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7. And I had 10 values. That checks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Again, 10 values. So now I'm going to quit back to the home screen. All right, and I'm going to calculate my stats. So stat, calc. This time I just had a single list of data for each class. So my list is list 1 and I have no frequencies. My list 2 was my second list of data. So just one list, I'm going to calculate. All right, so I see my mean is also 5.5. Quartile 1 is 4. And quartile 3 is 7. So I'm going to write those down. So the mean of A was 5.5. Quartile 3 for A was 7. Quartile 1 for group A was 4. So the IQR for A is equal to 3, 7 minus 4. So the same as the range. It's interesting. Let's repeat that for B. So stat, calc, my 1 var stats again, but this time I'm going to change to list 2. That's in blue down here, so second 2. All right, no frequency again. All right, I've got the same mean. Quartile 1 is 3. Quartile 1 is 3, quartile 3 is 8. So the mean for data set B is 5.5. Quartile 3 for set B was 8. Quartile 1 for set B, that was 3. So the IQR for this data set is 5. And this makes sense because my range was 9, so I already knew that my data was more spread out, and the 5 shows that as well. So in trying to answer which class performed better on the quiz, well, we can see that both classes had the same mean and median of 5.5. So saying which class did better, it seems like we could say that you could argue for either one because they had the same mean and median values. So I would say they performed similarly. And that's because their medians were equal. Medians and means are equal. But which class performed more consistently? Well, that was definitely class A because their range and their IQR were lower. So the data is less spread out. And if we want another measure of how far data is spread out or how close data points are to each other, we use standard deviation. And I'm going to stop this video and come back and explain standard deviation to you in the next video.